What's up, Just the 50JP in the house. Right now I'm going to Starbucks to chill out. But anyway, this is about looking young, staying young. Anyway, I believe that life is great. And people, we do get old and stuff, but I think to look young is a natural thing. The food we eat and stuff really does change you and does age you. Stress, those abstract words and stuff. I'm gonna put a video up on about that a little more in detail and stuff. A lot of stuff actually age you. And to walk around the street with a woman that looks like she could be 16, 18, 20, 21, and she's 40 or 50 or 30 something, and you're the same age, and you might look as young as she does, or you might look a little older, or she might look a little younger, or whatever. It really doesn't matter because if they are over the legal age, let's say if she's 30, like one of my students, she's the one with those mitten boots, not the one I was wearing, but the ones that was just, I'll just show the shoes only in that video. My student shoes, I think it was called. I hadn't seen her in a while. She came yesterday for a lesson, and my God, she's 31, and I swear she doesn't look a day over like 16 years old. And I'm like, wow, it's just really, really, really incredible. And I was like, how old are you? She's like 31. I was like, wow, you're like really young, and I think that's natural to Earth, to people. And you got a lot of people out here who maybe don't have the benefits of staying young naturally. So, of course, the elements and the minerals and things here on the earth are here to make your life better and stuff. So you can use those things to revitalize or replenish things in your body or whatever that you can't, that's not normally there or whatever, And, people that got it too, they still got to replenish it since things don't last forever. But to look young and to be with someone that looks young, and I'm talking about looking young, it's a great thing, and there's nothing wrong with it. I was in the military. When I was in the Air Force, there was this one guy and his wife, and I swear she looked like she was 14 years old. She was 24 at the time, and he's black, she's black, and we walked down the street, and I swear she just looked like she was 14 years old. And I only saw her once, because actually I heard this story before. I heard she looked young before I saw her from him. And he was like, yeah, every time me and my wife walking down the streets, the police always pulling us over and asking me to check my ID and asking my wife, is she okay? And she's looking like, what's wrong with them? And what's wrong? What do we do? And they say, no, you're a minor, and he's an older guy, and this and that. And she gets really angry and says, I'm not no minor. I'm 24 years old, or however old she was. And she whip out her ID, and they like tripping and stuff, right? And it's really interesting. You come out here and you see the same thing. I mean, like the lady that's on my the last video, I think I forgot it was Sugi-san or something like that. I forgot the name, what the title is, but she's my wife's worker. Anyway, in that video, she doesn't look anything, younger or anything. But one day, we went to pick her up because we were going to work, and it was at night, and wow, she's dressed really nice. And it wasn't at night, it was in the daytime, and we were going to Osaka. So we picked her up, and I thought she had on makeup, and she didn't. And I just happened to look in the rearview mirror, and I swear it was like a 13-year-old kid sitting in the back. I was like, wow, you look so different. She started laughing. She said, yeah, I look really young. Wow, she looked nice too. Let me turn this way so you guys can see. And yeah, oh man, this street right here, oh my God, because it's a station here, so everyone walks by and stuff. And ooh me, the fashion. But anyway, I was laughing. I was like, wow, you look really young. She started laughing and stuff, and I'm like, when she put her makeup on, I mean, like her eyes in the video look big, but in real life they're small. And the opening stuff, they're small. I'm like, wow. I was really tripping, and my wife and her started laughing and stuff. But to look young is a great thing. To feel young is a great thing. So, you know, basically what I'm trying to say is, just watch what you're eating, and vegetables and fruits, vegetables, fish oils, fish, grains and stuff like that. That stuff is there for a purpose. I believe that people should live for much longer than 100 years, maybe 200 years or whatever. And the reason I say that is because I read this one book where they were talking about the mummies and stuff that they got from Egypt, and they examined the cells, and they were like, these cells are perfectly fine. And there's no reason why this person should be in a grave. We should be still running around and living. And I read this like back in the 90s and stuff. And I was like, wow, it's really, really interesting, and it's just a great thing. People always saying, we pick up these habits when we're old at 40, but, those aren't our habits, Those are, I guess I could say, European habits, because of their natural makeup and stuff that not all of them, but most of them get older. And then because a lot of us don't actually take the time to notice that there is a difference, and if you don't know anything about nature and stuff like that, that you won't notice. And I mean, a lot of us do notice, but I guess a lot of people don't really take it to fact. And you could be 80 years old and still running around doing whatever, talking to who you want, still studying, creating things and things like that. And it's just my challenge to you, and it doesn't matter who you are. It's just my challenge to you, to stay young, stay fit, get rid of all those abstract words that absolutely means nothing, and it shouldn't affect the way how you do things, because there's something more concrete and more tangible that should influence you and things like that. But anyway, to walk around with a person, whether it's a guy or a girl that looks young, is a great thing. And do what you can, challenge yourself to stay young, stay fit, read up on a lot of this stuff. Just read up on it. Now they got all this no oil, and I'm thinking like, huh? Why is everyone with this no oil? Because, oil is natural in all other things, and if you don't have oil in your body, then, you start drying up and stuff. Or what they'll do is they'll start making these medicines and things like that that'll put the oil back in you like it's supposed to be and stuff. So I don't even worry about that. I use a lot of oil, olive oil and whatever, because those things are very important for your body and your joints and stuff like that. And what was it? I read this one psychology book, or heard it or something, that some kind of oil is really good for your brain too. It really gets it moving and functioning. I forget what it was. I think it was some kind of fish oil. I forget what it is though. But anyway, stay fit, stay looking young. It's a great thing. If you're 50 years old and you look like you're 17 years old, that's a great thing. There's nothing wrong with it. If your girl look like she 15, 16, you look like you 15, 16, but you're both 75 years old, or, like I said, that one lady, she had that body on her. I couldn't believe it. I saw another one too, thin, nice shape. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And she probably was like maybe in her 50s or something, but I was like, wow, she dressing like that girl over there, if you guys could see. I mean, dressing like that, all nice. And, well, we always say it's sexy, but I'll say fashionable, so keep it, so keep all this, everybody, thinking properly and stuff. But anyway, everything is natural, so it's nothing wrong. So don't be deprived of your naturalness of the earth. All right. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.